All right, welcome to episode number 25 of Ask EJ. So 25 is our silver anniversary of our first. If they even do that in episodes, I don't know.
We started it now.
Cool. So let's do 3 questions. Let's hit it.
Cool. Number 1 comes from Trip out of St. Augustine.
Florida?
Doesn't say.
St. Augustine, Florida, probably.
Florida?
Florida.
Cool.
St. Augustine. Have you ever been to St. Augustine?
I have not.
It's beautiful.
Yeah?
They have an old Spanish fort down there.
Yeah? You been there?
It's called the Flagler Hotel or Museum or something like that. Flagler was a big dude down there, big rich dude. Like, I'm talking like Biltmore Estate days, back in the day. It's gorgeous.
Cool.
St. Augustine's. It's gorgeous.
I have to check it out next time I'm in Florida.
Florida.
So Trip asks, as a 19...
That's where I did my honeymoon, by the way.
Really?
St. Augustine.
St. Augustine?
Florida, Orlando. We just went everywhere.
You guys went to Disney World?
I think we thought about it.
Just stayed in the room.
Yeah. All right.
As a 19 Delta Cavalry Scout, level...
Cav Scout.
Yeah.
Scouts out. 19 Delta. All right.
Level 10, having 3 travel of duty overseas rotational experience. TDYs. Would it benefit me to come to your classes and learn CQB, close quarter battle skills, for home defense, or have I already learned the skills in the Army?
Well, what's his name again?
Trip.
Here's the thing. What we learned in the Army is based off of team. So, like a 7-man stack, each person has, a point of domination that they're taking, and then should you not cover down for whatever reason, you take a heat round or you trip and fall, whatever, somebody is right behind you to take care of it. Also, there's this whole air of liability we really don't have that law enforcement has, civilians have, that kind of stuff. Also have a lot better technology, weaponry, and it's more of a raid that we're conducting when we hit a room. When you're doing home defense, it mimics a lot of CQB principles, if you will, methodologies, a large degree of tactics, but not all. The major difference that you have is in a home defense environment, you're in your house and you're reacting. So, you also have something to lose, like everything to lose, really. You can't afford collateral damage in your own home, and it's unlike anything you would ever experience in the Army in that regard. So your mental state, the actions that you think you would take, you may not take at all. You may freeze when confronted with somebody in your house. I will say that there are a lot of parallels, so that you would probably grasp the information a lot faster. But when we throw the emotional stuff in, the emotional stress, you haven't experienced that in the military. And hopefully you never experience it in real life. We just, kind of do our training, understand what it is, and then hopefully that's where it stays, is that training. But you have everything to lose. And even if you smoke that fool in your living room and he's as clearly wrong as all can get out, everyone and their brother knows that person was going to do you harm. That blood stain in the middle of that room, that in the Army we would just walk by and maybe go, look at there. That blood stain is now a moving ticket, because there's going to be a 24-foot moving truck rolling up in your driveway. Mama ain't going to stay there no more. Not going to do it. So you won the right to continue living, but you're probably not going to live in that house anymore. And forever, your life will be changed. But so will your family. See, in the Army, we would go and do stuff, right? And then us as brothers, we would kind of cover down on each other. But then when we went home, there's this curse and this blessing that says they don't really know what goes on, so I can try to fool myself and slip back into reality and kind of integrate back into things. And they'll treat me the same way they treated me right before I left. Well, you don't have that blessing and a curse. It's almost a curse. The blessing is that you lived. The curse is that they're forever changed just like you are. So while it is there are some strong parallels, again, with tactics and techniques, methodologies, principles, if you will. It's a total game changer when it's you and your family, your house. Because like I said, man, when we're in green, bro, we're conducting a raid. We're going after them. Now they're coming after you. I think you would benefit greatly. I think you would probably excel if you came to one. So I don't want to say that you don't have anything, because you have a lot. You just need to learn the application of what you do know, along with dealing with the stuff that you don't. But you'd be far ahead of most everybody else in the class. Scouts out. Yep. You know what 19 Deltas are really good at?
What's that?
Calling in phase lines.
Phase lines? What are those?
Imaginary lines on a map. I'm at phase line Alpha. I'm at phase line Charlie. He gets it, you don't.
I don't.
So, matter of fact, Trip, if you're from St. Augustine, Florida, maybe you know Mike Pierowski, something like that. Cav troop out of Ocala. He was my lieutenant. Convinced me to go to OCS. And I actually commissioned Cav, and then got talked out of going to Armor OBC and went to Infantry. So, yeah.
That's cool.
I had some sabers on for like a minute, and then they got replaced with crossed rifles. All right, carry on.
Number 2 comes from Kevin out of Indianapolis, Indiana. How much time should a person spend perfecting their aim?
What's his name? Kevin?
Kevin.
Cav. Dude. As long as it takes, bro. You're responsible for every bullet that comes out of your gun. Perfect it. Then perfect it under stress. Then perfect it under stress moving. Then perfect it under stress moving. And moving some more. And then perfect it again. And it's a perishable skill. And then you go and change sights, you go and change guns, you go and change calibers. Got to start all over again. So, you better perfect it. Read me that question one more time.
How much time should a person spend perfecting their aim?
Till you get it right without having to think about it. Until you get it right all the time. I'm still perfecting my aim. Cav.
All right. Number 3 comes from...
You know when they in class they tell you don't be that guy?
Yeah.
And then you're like, then they'll say, well, there's no dumb questions, so ask the question. And no one's going to think anything of you. And then you ask the question, and you suddenly realize you're that guy.
Oh, you're singling out Kevin, man.
Well, Kev's just asking the questions a bunch of other people are thinking. He just fell on that grenade.
Go
So,
Kev.
Go Kev.
Cool.
We're just having fun with you, Kev. All right.
Tom from Sterling Heights, Michigan asks, how often do you clean your carry pistol, and with what do you use to clean and lube it?
How often do I clean my carry pistol? When I start seeing a bunch of lint on it from all my shirts and jeans and stuff. I mean, I carry a Glock 19, so I don't really have to clean it a whole lot. I mean, I went through Andy Sanford's class, 1,000 rounds, I never cleaned a gun. So, occasionally, if it just looks like it's all linty, then I'll, field strip it and take a little nylon brush to it and brush all that stuff off. And then take an old rag and wipe it all down, and then put a little Earl on it, put it back together, and let's go. So, it's not man jewelry, so I don't really get into all the whole, cleaning it to perfection and all that stuff. I make sure that mechanically it's functional and has a little bit of oil on it. That's it. I don't want anything to, get in the gun while it's working, while I'm shooting it, but most of that lint's going to come off on the first round when it's fired anyway, so it's not going to be that big of a deal, unless you had something up in the barrel. But I'm not one of those guys who clears the living room out on a Saturday afternoon and breaks out the box of cleaning supplies and goes to a detail clean and spit shines the slide. I don't get into all that. I use my time otherwise. So, did you ask what did I use or something?
Yeah, what do you use to clean and lube it?
I use a rag and a nylon brush to clean it. Occasionally, I'll take like a shotgun brush, the one that gets screws on the end of the rod, and I'll just kind of hit some stuff just because it's big and it's better than the toothbrushes. Dust it off. If the feed ramp is really, really crusty, get in there and put a little Earl on it, scrub it down, clean it up a little bit. Look at the trigger, make sure nothing's down in there, and then punch the barrel, and we're good to go. As far as oil is concerned, I'll use some frog lube stuff in the summer. I do not use it in the winter. But I don't know. I haven't found any oil that I go, oh, I'm just in love with it. It all burns off pretty fast, and like the SLP 2000 is good stuff. For me, it appears to be. I mean, I'm no oil specialist, but it appears to not burn off as fast as like a rim oil or something like that does. But I mean, with a Glock, you only need 5 drops, so it's not the end of the world. I'm not bathing it in it, but I mean, you could bathe it in it, but then I got to wear it that way. So, I don't know. I got probably 5-6 different things of oil over there. I'm not really partial to any one of them. I don't really care. Like I said, I haven't noticed a performance difference using this oil over that oil. I mean, if somebody's got some magical unicorn tears out there, I'll try it. But, even with the fire clean, whatever. I mean, whatever, dude. It's all oil. Does it make it any easier to clean? I don't know. A Glock, my pistol's not that hard to clean anyway. So, I mean, what are we saying is it's easier to clean? Like, I only need 1 pass of my rag as opposed to 2. Is it really a big time savings in there, and if I did the time value of money, for you MBAs out there, am I really saving a whole lot? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if somebody's got an oil they're just like super impressed with, like, oh my God, this is the best, let me know. We'll give it a try. I would love for oil to impress me. It would be awesome. But I haven't really seen anything out there that's just, wonderful, special.
Why'd you say not use it during the winter?
Oh, because it gums up. So like, it's like this green minty stuff when you put it on, right? So I put it on my shotguns and rifles a couple years ago. Well, yeah. And then when I was done with, when I took it out hunting, like it's cold out there, right? Then my breech it's like it's stuck on my bolt action. I'm having to kick it up. Now, once the gun gets hot, everything goes back to great. Same thing with a shotgun. And maybe I put too much on it, I don't know. But it almost turns like this orange color. And it doesn't smell minty anymore. So I stripped all that crap off and went to some grease on the shotguns and on the bolt action rifles so that I don't have to worry about that again. I mean, I guess if it's biodegradable or whatever, it's organic in nature, it's gonna deteriorate over time, I guess. I don't know if it's like moldy cheese, cheese is good and it molds over time. I don't know what it did. It just turned like an orange brownish color, and then it gummed up. And then when I tried to wipe it, it was real sticky. So I just took a hairdryer and got it warm, and then it solidified, and I just wiped it off. So that's why I don't use it in the wintertime anymore. No. Anyway.
Cool.
All right. So, yeah, if somebody knows of some great magical gun Earl out there, let me know. We'll give it a shot, see what happens with it. Like I said, 1,000 rounds in 2 days. You're going to have to put a little something on it, during the course of that. So we're glad to test it out and see what it works. But if it don't impress me, it don't impress me. Just saying, call it like I see it. Kind of look at those oils like weightlifting supplements. It's all in the marketing. All right, is that 3?
That's 3.
All right, cool. All right, guys. Well, have a great day. You know the rigmarole. If you want to submit a question, there's that link in that there. Where is it again? In the box thing?
Yeah, in the in the description section.
Description section. There you go, guys. All right. Have a great one. All our stuff. Check it out. All right. As always, stay alert and practice often.